there's been a little bit of confusion about your cultural or artifact assignment, and I just wanted to clear up a few things in this video as to what your cultural artifact is and what it's about. So, if you take a look at your assignment sheet, it should be in your email and it should be on your Canvas page. You will see that your cultural artifact is simply an essay in which you look at something that's indicative of pop culture and analyze it with the vocabulary and terms that we've learned this far. So, to put that in simpler terms, I want you to find something culturally relevant and tell me how it builds ethos, logos, and pathos. And today I'm going to show you in a quick video an example of that and how you can kind of format all of that into a paragraph form. We're going to be talking a little bit more about how this can be woven into a complete essay, but in this video we're just going to be focusing on how we can extract ideas, and I kind of want to give you guys an example of how to think about what it is that I'm asking you to do. So for the cultural artifact example, I've chosen a cultural artifact. I saw this commercial recently. I thought it was really interesting, and I thought it would be the perfect example to show you all, and that is the Travis Scott burger from McDonald's. So today, for this cultural artifact, I'm not going to be talking about the commercial. I'm actually just going to be talking about this website. I'm going to be talking about this ad all by itself, and I'm going to be talking about it as a cultural artifact, this website. So just to let y'all know, just finding cultural artifact can be just as easy as looking at a website. And again, we're talking about the rhetorical elements, logos, pathos, and ethos. So first, let's kind of talk about the logos of it. Oh wait, let me backtrack a little bit. I kind of want to show you all this ad just a little bit more. So we have the McDonald's website. We have the two columns. In one column, we have the picture of the burger, and the next we have the name and the description of it. So I'll read the description out loud for you. So the Travis Scott, 630 calories. Travis Scott's favorite McDonald's burger features a 1/4 pound of 100% fresh beef, topped with onions, pickles, and 2 slices of melty cheese, plus ketchup and mustard. Seems like a standard quarter pounder with cheese. Nah, it's also got shredded lettuce and crispy bacon because that's how Cactus Jack likes it, straight up. We recommend getting the whole Travis Scott meal because honestly, it slaps. Order it today with mobile order and pay in the McDonald's app. And these kind of like little words down here. Wait before cooking, 4 ounces. Available at most restaurants in contiguous U.S., not available in Alaska, Hawaii, and U.S. territories. So let's talk about this as a cultural artifact and in regards to our terms logos, pathos, and ethos. So logos. Logos is the first thing I talked about, and logos mean structure and logos means logic, but logic as it relates to structure and organization. So, how does the structure itself build a kind of logical and coherent narrative? Um, so, you have these two columns, and this is the kind of paragraph I wrote up about it. So this ad builds logos by using images, text, description, and links. This ad is structured and organized in such a way that you can easily see the burger, its name, and the description. If you continue to read the ad, the nutritional information is neatly tucked away in bottom tabs. The logos of the Travis Scott Burger ad prioritizes quick reading by using a small block of text. Visually, this is also appealing as the picture of the sandwich juxtaposes the words nicely. So, this is kind of my little analyzation of the logic and the structure. We have two columns. We have a short block of text. We have an image. And I'm talking about what all of these things kind of do. I'm talking about how the structure of this ad works to make it an easy read, how it makes it visually appealing, and how it kind of introduces the kind of subject and the things that we're talking about. So let's kind of move on to pathos. So pathos is the emotional appeal. So I kind of wrote that this ad builds pathos by using the familiar name Travis Scott. Travis Scott is a music artist, and this ad builds pathos or emotional appeal by using Scott's namesake and brand image. The emotional appeal of this ad comes from its attempt at being relatable to music fans. The pathos is quite strong because it seems like a fun meal that is attached to a fun artist. So basically, what I'm saying here is that the pathos or the emotional kind of human connection. If you all remember, pathos is about how it relates to a person on a interpersonal level. And I'm kind of arguing here that the pathos comes from kind of that Travis Scott name and brand. You have kind of these fans of Travis Scott and these fans of music. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. So you have Travis Scott, these fans of music, and kind of using that connection to relate on kind of a more personal level. You have like this thing in the commercial. Travis Scott himself comes on. It's like he's talking directly to the people. So that's where this emotional appeal comes from. That's where the pathos is from, and that's how this ad builds pathos. Finally, we have ethos, so credibility and authority. And I wrote down that this ad builds and claims to be a sound. I'm sorry, I forgot a word. This ad builds Let me start over a little bit. This ad claims to be a sandwich loved by Travis Scott. I'm sorry about that typo. And this ad builds ethos by claiming to have asked Travis Scott himself what he liked in a sandwich from McDonald's. This ad builds credibility by positioning Travis Scott as their inspiration and having him endorse their product. This ad also builds ethos by including nutritional information as well as allergy guidelines. This information has been improved by government mandated guidelines for restaurants. If you guys want to take a look for it, here is the nutritional information that is located if you scroll down to the bottom of the page and then click a separate link. But again, I'm kind of arguing here that the ethos comes from the fact that they kind of position Travis Scott as an authority, on himself. And they like straight from the source. They asked Travis Scott what he wanted in a burger, and that's how they made like something that looked somewhat credible. It must be good if Travis Scott likes it. I guess. And another way they build kind of credibility and authority is including that nutritional information. And that nutritional information is genuine as it's approved by, government food authorities and things like that. So if y'all remember too, in your cultural artifact assignment, I also asked you all to talk about the strengths and the weaknesses of the rhetorical arguments. So what did you think was the strongest, or what did you think was the weakest? And I kind of began with the strengths, and I determined that the strengths in this ad was the pathos. And I kind of just wrote down that the strongest rhetorical element in this ad was the pathos. The emotional link can be described as fun, relatable, and relevant to pop culture. And that's true. This ad seems to really dive into that emotional and that kind of relatable appeal. And that shines through as kind of the strongest part of this ad. The weakest part to me would be the ethos and the credibility. And I kind of wrote down here that said the weakest part of this ad was the ethos. Though there are credible sources, many of these sources are hard to find and require alternative clicking and alternative links that leave the original ad. The ethos in this ad is still strong, but out of the three rhetorical elements, this is the most difficult to objectively observe. So I kind of mentioned before how you have to scroll down and you have to kind of click off links to see these nutritional guidelines. Here, that is what makes the ethos a little bit weaker. Not having it just objectively displayed as much as your other things does make it a little bit odd. That isn't to say that the ethos and the credibility is bad or not there. It's just that it's just a little bit weaker than the other two. So this has been an example of your cultural artifact and how I kind of want you to think about the cultural artifact. In the upcoming weeks, we're going to talk a little bit more about how we would organize our thoughts. I've just given you an example about how to like brainstorm and think about it, but in a few weeks, we're going to talk about how to organize this in an outline, and then we're also going to talk about how to kind of form all of these into a solid 1 to 2 page essay, and then talk about how to submit it. But with that, I'll go ahead and leave you all with a few things to think about. I hope you guys maybe try the Travis Scott burger out, and while you're at it, kind of think about the rhetorical elements involved in each and every step. So thank you for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you all later. Bye.